My name is Jake, and I make videos exploring places most people avoid. My latest project brought me to Blackwood Creek, a town missing from modern maps, found only on a crumpled antique one. The place looked abandoned, houses leaning, paint peeling, a thick gray fog hugging the ground. The air was cold, heavy with the scent of decay. The town's sign, "Welcome to Blackwood Creek," was nearly swallowed by moss. It felt more like a warning than a greeting. I stepped out of my car into total silence. No birds, no cars, just emptiness. My hands shook as I pulled out my camera, telling myself it was just the cold. But I knew something was wrong here. The shops were boarded up, dust everywhere, as if everyone had vanished overnight. A child's tricycle lay on its side, a red ribbon fluttering, the only thing moving in the whole town. I zoomed in on the ribbon, its loneliness amplifying the silence. I felt eyes on me, but when I turned, no one was there. My plan was to stay 3 nights, to uncover the town's secrets for my viewers. I'd explored haunted places before, but Blackwood Creek felt different. This wasn't just a place where something bad happened, it felt like something bad was still happening. Dread clung to me, alive and whispering. I had no idea what I was getting into, but I had to find out what made this town so cursed, and I had to survive long enough to tell the story. I set up camp in the old town hall, its doors groaning open to a chill that turned my breath to mist. My lanterns barely pushed back the darkness. The shadows felt thick, almost alive. As night fell, the silence broke, faint, rhythmic scratching from inside the walls. I tried to believe it was rats, but the sound was too deliberate. Then came a whisper, soft, childlike, drifting from the hallway. Heart pounding, I grabbed my camera and flashlight, following the voice down a long, creaking corridor. "Hello? Is anyone there?" My voice echoed, but only the whisper replied, leading me to a door slightly ajar. Inside, a single wooden chair sat in the center, an old porcelain doll perched on it. Its glass eyes and painted smile glinted in my flashlight's beam. I was sure the doll hadn't been there before. The whispering had led me right to it. A cold shiver ran down my spine. I backed away, never taking my eyes off its sinister face. The town was playing with me. I realized I was truly alone, and not alone at all. I returned to my makeshift camp, sleep impossible. The doll's smile haunted the darkness. I wondered what else was waiting in Blackwood Creek, and if I'd make it through the night. The next day I searched the town's houses for answers. Inside, furniture hid under sheets, family photos hung on the walls, but every face was scratched out. It was as if someone tried to erase the people who lived here. In a bedroom I found a diary belonging to a girl named Lily. At first, her entries were normal, school, friends. Then she wrote about a shadow, a tall, faceless man watching from the trees. She called him the Shadow Man. Her parents didn't believe her, but her fear bled through the pages. The Shadow Man whispered secrets to her, about a curse, and a price the town had to pay. The last entry was frantic. "He's here. He's inside the house now. Goodbye." I closed the diary, shaken. This was no ghost story. These were a girl's final words. The scratching in the walls, the whispers. Was it the Shadow Man? As the sun set, the fog thickened, shadows stretching like fingers. I felt watched from every window, whispers swirling on the wind. I ran back to the town hall, clutching my camera. I had to survive one more night, and uncover the truth of the Shadow Man. I spent the second night piecing together the town's history from Lily's diary and old records. Blackwood Creek was founded by Silas Blackwood, who made a deal with a dark entity for prosperity. But every 50 years, the entity returned as the Shadow Man to claim the town. He whispered to children, fed on fear, turned neighbors against each other. People scratched out faces in photos, boarded up windows, and vanished, leaving only silence. The record showed it happened in 1875, 1925, and 1975, the year Lily disappeared. I checked my watch, July 23, 2025, exactly 50 years later. The curse was happening again, and I was trapped in the middle of it. Suddenly a loud bang echoed from downstairs, the town hall doors slamming shut. The scratching in the walls grew frantic, whispers multiplying, all chanting my name. "Jake, Jake, it's time to pay the price." Panic surged. The Shadow Man knew I was here. The final night in Blackwood Creek had begun. I realized I had to break the curse, or become its next victim. I remembered Lily's diary mentioned a ritual. My only hope was to find the old church and try to end this nightmare. I grabbed my camera and ran into the fog. The whispers followed, growing louder with every step. I was running out of time. The Shadow Man was coming. The church loomed at the edge of town, its doors barely hanging on. Inside, overturned pews and a thick metallic scent filled the air. At the altar I found a strange symbol, the same one from the town records. Lily's diary said to place an object of pure hope on the altar to break the curse. I remembered the tricycle's red ribbon, a symbol of innocence. I raced through the fog, whispers swirling, and grabbed the ribbon. Back in the church, a tall, faceless shadow detached from the wall, the Shadow Man. The air turned icy as he glided toward me. My courage faltered, but I thought of Lily and the vanished townsfolk. I slapped the red ribbon onto the altar's symbol just as the Shadow Man reached me. A blinding light erupted, pushing back the darkness. The Shadow Man shrieked, dissolving like smoke. The whispers stopped. The ribbon turned to ash. I stumbled out into the dawn, the curse broken, but I knew some shadows never truly fade. Sunlight finally broke through the fog as I left the church. The silence was gone, birds sang, the air felt clean. Blackwood Creek was still abandoned, but the evil had lifted. I filmed my final shots, then drove away, never looking back. My video became famous. Viewers were captivated by the story and terrified by the footage. People called me a hero for breaking the curse, but the memory of the Shadow Man haunted me. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear whispers on the wind. There's one thing I never told my viewers. As I drove away, I glanced in the rearview mirror. On the main street, I saw a tall, thin shadow watching me leave. The curse might be broken for now, but I have a terrible feeling it's not over. Shadows are patient, and Blackwood Creek is still waiting. Some stories never end.